Police officers. What is the most disturbing thing you've seen on duty? It was a Tuesday afternoon. I was finishing up paperwork when dispatch called about a noise complaint at some rundown apartment complex on the east side. Nothing serious, just an old guy yelling at the maintenance crew about weird sounds coming from behind the building. I pulled up 15 minutes later. The complex looked like it hadn't been updated since the 90s. Peeling paint, cracked sidewalks, the whole deal. The maintenance guy, Jimmy, was standing by the dumpsters looking annoyed. "Officer, this guy won't leave us alone," Jimmy said, pointing to an older man in a stained white shirt. "Keeps saying he hears crying from the storage units." The old man, Mr. Hayes, was probably 70. He lived in Unit 4B and took his trash out every day at the same time. "I'm telling you, something's wrong back there. I heard it yesterday too, like a baby crying." I figured it was maybe a cat or the wind doing something weird with the metal units, but I walked around back anyway to check it out. The storage units were old, rusty orange doors with cheap padlocks. Most looked like they hadn't been opened in years. I stood there for a second, listening. Then I heard it, faint, muffled, but definitely crying. My stomach dropped. I followed the sound to Unit 37. The padlock was newer than the others. I knocked hard on the metal door. "Police, anyone in there?" The crying stopped, then started again, weaker this time. I called it in immediately. Told dispatch I needed bolt cutters and backup. Jimmy ran to grab tools from the maintenance shed. 5 minutes felt like an hour. When we finally cut the lock and pulled the door open, the smell hit me first. Hot, stale air mixed with something sour. It was dark inside. No windows, no light. I turned on my flashlight. On a dirty blanket in the corner was a kid, maybe a year old, wearing just a diaper that was way too full. There was a baby bottle next to him, half filled with milk that had clearly gone bad. A bucket in the other corner. No food, no water, no nothing. The kid looked up at me with these huge, empty eyes. He didn't scream or reach out. He just stared. I radioed for paramedics and carefully picked him up. He was way too light. His skin was dry and hot. Mosquito bites all over his arms and legs. The second I lifted him, he wrapped his little arms around my neck and went completely silent, like he'd been waiting for someone to find him, like he knew no one was coming back. That part messed me up more than anything. Paramedics arrived and took him to the hospital. Dehydration, malnutrition, but stable. The doctors said he'd been in there at least a day, maybe 2. We started investigating immediately. The unit had been rented 3 months ago under a fake name, paid in cash. No ID required. Security cameras in the lot had been broken for over a year. Detective Walsh ran the kid's description through missing persons. Took a few hours, but we got a hit. The child had been reported missing 6 months earlier in another state. The mother had been found dead in a motel room overdose. The father, a guy named Travis Kemp, had a record and vanished right after. No one knew where the kid went. Somehow, he fell through the cracks. We never found Travis. Put out a warrant, checked his known contacts, pulled his phone records. Nothing. Guy disappeared like smoke. The kid went into foster care. I checked in with the caseworker a few times. She said he was doing okay, slowly putting on weight, learning to trust people again. I took 3 days off after that call. My captain didn't ask why.